Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Bohan and I'm an earthquake geologist. I'm doing a series on earthquakes in all 50 states and today's state is Colorado. Now, Colorado has had more than 700 earthquakes greater than a magnitude 2.5 since 1867, and there are hundreds of active faults in Colorado. You can see some of those behind me. Some of those faults are capable of producing earthquakes as large as a magnitude 6.5 and potentially even a magnitude 7.5. So the largest earthquake in historic times was a magnitude 6.6 earthquake that happened on November 7th, 1882, west of Fort Collins. But that wasn't the most damaging earthquake in Colorado's history. That earthquake was a magnitude 5.3 that happened on August 9th, 1967 near Commerce City. Now that earthquake caused more than $1 million worth of damage in Denver and the surrounding suburbs. And it was followed about 3 months later by a magnitude 5.2 in the same area. Now, if we fast forward 50 plus years to August 22nd, 2011, there was another magnitude 5.3, but this one was 15 miles southwest of Trinidad. Now, even though that area isn't as densely populated as the area around Commerce City, there was damage that was done. 46 buildings were impacted and 2 of those buildings had to be condemned. Now, the area near Trinidad is very seismically active. There have been a lot of earthquakes there. Historically, there was a magnitude 4.6 in 2001, and there were magnitude 4 pluses in 1966, 1973, and if you keep going back in time, you can find records of other earthquakes. Colorado also has something called earthquake swarms. Now, I talked about this in my video about Arkansas, but in general, earthquake swarms are a little bit different than what we think of when we think of like regular earthquakes, where you have a big earthquake followed by lots of little earthquakes called aftershocks. Earthquake swarms are where you have lots of earthquakes happening in the same general time frame, in the same general area, that are all around the same magnitude. So a famous earthquake swarm happened in Colorado in the 1960s that was the result of wastewater injection from the Rocky Mountain Arsenal. So that brings up an interesting point. Colorado has both naturally occurring earthquakes, or earthquakes that are the result of the tectonic forces, inside of the earth, stress and strain accumulating through time. And Colorado also has induced earthquakes, or man-made earthquakes. What can cause an earthquake? Like, what can people do to make earthquakes happen? Well, wastewater injection, chemical waste injection, nuclear blasts, mining, reservoir filling. So Colorado is definitely earthquake country. If you want to know more about earthquakes in Colorado, you can visit the Colorado Geological Survey website or the USGS. And remember, if you feel shaking from an earthquake, whether it's man-made or natural, doesn't matter. If you feel that shaking, drop down to the ground, take cover underneath a sturdy object, and hold on tight until all the shaking has stopped. Don't be scared. Be prepared.